Hi. As you can probably hear a little bit of music, I do that just for paranoia type issues regarding the sensitivity of these topics. Sorry, I smoke a lot. It's just the way I am. My name is Thomas Sears from Nova Scotia, Canada, and in the course of this video, it's just gonna be short because 15-minute limit thing and all that other kind of junk. Um, it's basically an introductory video for those who are still questioning what is going on in our world today and why things are the way they are, why they're structured the way they are, where the future is heading, and many other things. I'll tell you, like, from birth, I am not a normal human being. My reflexes are faster than yours. My muscles fibers are stronger than yours. All of these things. I can see better than you can, see things that you can't see. Um, I know this sounds very unbelievable, but nanotechnology is transforming the human race, and I have many theories on where it comes from, what it's supposed to do, and all these kinds of things. It's an extremely weird topic, and I've only come to the conclusions very lately as to what's going on. There are a few types of nanobots that they input in people, and there's a few type of implants that they put in you at different ages. Some are at birth, some are in early childhood, some are in adolescence, some are in early adulthood, whatnot. What they revolve around is control of your central nervous system, and basically they form in with the cells, kind of like the movie Gamer, but not quite. Not in that they replicate, but it's a primitive technology to that sort of end, where they attach to the neurons and they will actually be able to enhance the neurons. Um, so things just work better, they work faster, but it also gives complete control. Um, I can tell you this for sure, although I cannot go into explanations in this video as it takes a long time. I've done numerous amounts of testing over the years to figure out why this is the way it is and what the purpose is. The end game purpose is complete control. It's been referenced in media quite a bit. It's been referenced in various, I mean, like Western, Eastern, Asian, this, that. It has been referenced wherever. The same people that brought you religion, that brought you your governments, your banks, and all this other kind of stuff, those same people are the same people that are doing this. And the world, as we know it now, is basically a giant ant farm. I assume that these elites, as some people would call them, I wouldn't call them that. I think it's something completely different. And although we tend to want to believe things that we can see, hear, feel, touch, whatever, taste, all of that can actually be replicated and can be done by computers. Not only that, I mean, like, I guess to say we live in a matrix, and is it not coincidental that the same year that nanotechnology is discovered in um, aluminum particulate dust falling from what people would like to call chemtrails. It's not actually chemtrails at all. That's a delusion. People like to, conspiratize and things like that. But is it not coincidental the same year that those chemtrails start in large numbers before all the testing and everything like that, that the matrix comes out, right? So they're carefully laying out a social plot of the nature to basically make you believe it, because the more you believe the delusions and the information that they're feeding you. I mean, they can do anything from wipe your memory to make you sleepwalk to make you do things you have no idea you've done. They can wipe other people's memories, and although you may think you are not under control, you're actually under a complete hypnosis, like hypnotic state at all times. They record everything you do of every hour of the day. They know your location down to a centimeter in the earth. Hiding in caves will not help you. The wavelengths of the technology will permeate the core of the Earth. It's a very well thought out plan, and people will laugh at this. They will say you're crazy or you're nuts. There's no way this is possible. Another conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat type guy, but I can tell you exactly what's going to happen, lay it out for you completely, and that's probably the scary part. There are ways to overcome the programming. I may get into that at some point, but I know there are others like me who have noticed things in their lives, those that may overexcel, and they just seem to overexcel at just almost everything. Like there's nothing that's impossible. But they can break you at any stage, right? They will find out what bothers you. They will search your memories. They will find triggers. They will sensitize you. Unwillingly, they can use the public to do things and not even give them instructions as to you're doing this to this person. They'll just tell them to do certain things in certain ways as to sensitize you to it. It's the greatest social experiment and the greatest crime against humanity that one could ever foresee. It's basically playing God. I assume there are many supercomputer type, like beyond what we can even conceive in modern technology, that exists all over the planet. Just think about this, for example, before you start bashing me and what I'm saying. They have satellites that can beam down a TV signal to anywhere in the Earth. The brain produces an electromagnetic frequency. I believe it's 5.5 volts. It's actually a field. It's around your brain and your head, right? Just think about that. Think about application. Satellites that can beam down electromagnetic field of your head, right? So everybody has a unique signature to it, almost like your DNA. Once the what they would call nanoparticulates get into you, they can start to modify the neurons and cause things. So those who have things like fibromyalgia, these unexplainable diseases that have no source or anything beyond the symptoms, you're crazy, right? Those who have certain types of, who are so-called schizophrenics, who are have these psychotic illnesses and things like that. Well, the truth is, you have been deemed an undesirable at a certain stage, and this computer is now feeding you all of this in an attempt to break you, to sensitize you, to basically not trust anything. And what it is, in a way, there's in this Freudian psychology, there's the reward cycle, right? And you can abuse that. There's also, the fear reactions, right? Your body and your brain will go into a different state when you're in fear. So the more that they can pump you full of images, of voices, of sounds, and all these other types of things that they can do to you, which is basically whatever they want. I mean, they can create pain in different areas. They can make you sick. They can fry your brain just like that. So basically, as some people have suspected, there's something wrong with the world, right? Like, why is it that whether you vote for guy A, guy B, or guy C in your government, do they all end up the same? Corporations and I know. So those who may not want to accept the truth, who don't want to accept that even though you're not aware of it, you're being controlled. I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. If you don't want to believe it, that's totally up to you. You want to lead your own life, and you think you're in control and you're doing whatever. That's fine. I cannot convince you. I cannot tell you. I cannot make you believe anything just the same as anybody else can. But the trickery lies herein that it bypasses the cortexes that control things, right? So instead of your ear hearing something and it going through the nerves to your auditory cortex, they completely bypass that, and they can send the signal directly to the cortex. So you don't actually hear it in your ear, but you still hear it, which means they can also place the sound in any place and point in time, right? So it could be over here, could be over here, could be over there. right? Could be any volume. You know, like they can control senses in the way, like they can make sounds louder and all these types of deals. So I know there's a few bits of information out there on the web, and you know, crackers, hackers, people like that have provided us with a lot of things on this nature. But you know, the Edward Snowdens of the world who expose the NSA and things like that for what they're doing, that is the mere tip of the iceberg. That is nowhere near close to. Those people are all in control. Why do those systems exist, right? Think about it. Your education system, it's a public system that keeps records on everyone. Your health system is a public system that keeps records on everyone, right? Your government system, your SIN number or social security number, all of these things, they're all public records that are kept on everyone. They watch you every hour, every minute of every day. You know, Google is, I would say, known to be associated with the United States government. The CIA, NSA, NATO in particular. All of these things lead back to the same one conclusion: a total system of total control. Religion didn't work. They couldn't control people with it. People still murdered people. People still committed adultery. All of these things still happened, right? So what do? They move on to different systems. Oh, now we have a government system, right? Oh, well, the government system isn't working. The legal system isn't working. It got abused. It went out of control. Oh, now we're moving on to the technology stage, right? And maybe I'll end this video here for now so you can reflect and think back on this, but have you ever felt at any time in your life that you did something that you would never do, ever? That you committed an act of whatever it may be, I don't know, you did a drug, you drove a car off the road, you did this, you did that. Some kind of event where there's just a little bit of a lapse either in your judgment or things like that. It's strange because, you know, if you ask people certain questions, they'll give you the same answers. But when you tell them something like this, that you really may not be in control, and that action may have come from somewhere else, even though you think you thought it, you know, it is. It's, you know, people think they hear God, right? You look at, you know, your recent events where people claim these directed energy weapons, elf weapons, things like that. Well, those were actually created as a side story to keep people from realizing what is the big story up here, right? All of these things come along as great excuses so that people can deny what's going on, right? All of, you know, your murders and the school shootings, people like that, they all suffered from the same thing. The voices, the harassment, the mistreatment by people, everybody. It seems like everybody's against you, right? I've studied this quite a bit, and it's disturbing because they will find a way to break you, right? And those who are deemed undesirable will be broken in some way. And of course, people are going to look for whatever truth they can accept that, you know, makes their situation better. But the truth is that a lot of that stuff doesn't exist. It's just used for a nice pony show. To actually do that would be, you know, that would take a lot of effort, a lot of manpower, a lot of money, and these guys are greedy. I mean, they want everything. There are some end goals, of course, right? You can't manage 8 billion people, even effectively with supercomputers, but you sure can manage 500 million, that's for sure. You know, there will be two classes of people, that's for sure. There will be people who are free to do whatever they want, and there will be people who are not free to do what they want. So, I'll talk about this more in the future, and, you know, I'm not hoping that this video goes super viral, or people, you know, think I'm nuts, because, well, I have already been deemed nuts anyway, so what do I have to lose? But I can see the direction that humanity is heading down. You know, the direction that World War III is imminent, that water crises will begin, food crises will begin. You know, the wars will be fought with technology we don't even know exists. You know, we think drones are the thing. Well, if they're showing drones on TV, think about it. Why would you release your most classified information on public television? I mean, that's another thing. People seem to have lost their ability to think, and that's on purpose. But Anyways, I'll go into that. It's kind of an age-based thing, but next video. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.